Today on CityLine, when the sun goes down, these Boston spots come alive. We're exploring the destinations that are keeping our city entertained after dark. Good morning to you, and thank you so much for joining us. I'm Jessica Brown. When it comes to nightlife, Boston doesn't have the most exciting reputation, but the city's Office of Nightlife Economy is on a mission to change that. We saw what our city was capable of this summer. Boston shined during the World Cup and so many other events. Now the city is trying to make that energy permanent and prove that Boston is far from boring. Joining me now is Corean Reynolds, the city's first Director of Nightlife Economy. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
What a summer we've had,
Yes.
right? Everyone was outside, I would say. Nightlife definitely got a big boost for summer. Some Boston bars were open an extra hour until 3 a.m. and social districts allowed for public drinking in designated areas. That was all possible thanks to a temporary state law that ended July 31st. So how do you think those changes transformed nightlife in the city?
Yeah, Boston definitely had the best summer ever, if you ask me. And folks were able to come together in community, mingle with our visitors in different ways than we've seen in the past. With our social districts, we had two of them, one on Temple Place in downtown and then Union Street. And they both served as gathering points for residents and visitors alike. Folks were able to go from business to business, grab a drink, enjoy outdoor landscapes and watch the game on a big screen in the case of Temple Place. And then also, we kept the party going when it came to the 3 a.m. extension. We had 211 businesses sign up to extend their hours, and about 119 of them did those extended hours and saw a great vibe past that 2 a.m. mark. And what we learned from that is it allowed the city to have a natural endpoint. Usually when we end everything at 2 a.m., there's this mass exodus, but we have this natural way of ebbing and flowing, and the vibrancy in our neighborhoods changed for the better.
Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, I think so many people kept saying, they feel like the city hasn't been this fun in a while. So how are you keeping that energy, that momentum going?
Well, the city always has something going on, despite having like a big national and international game happening. We have these programming and these opportunities to join in community throughout the city. We have the mayor's movie nights. We have the dance party series that our tourism, sports, and entertainment team put on, where you can dance to Donna Summer or dance to some R&B on City Hall Plaza. It runs the gamut. So the party doesn't end just because FIFA World Cup and tall ships have left the city.
So do you think, lawmakers will be on board if you're trying to extend that time and kind of keep that going when you're trying to push for that extra hour of nightlife in the city?
Yeah, what we've seen this summer is those legislations, those extensions, those social districts, they worked. And they weren't just good for creating vibrancy in the city, it was good for creating some revenue for these businesses and extra hours for the workforce. So we just hope that the legislation sees that it worked and continues it.
We'll have to wait and see. I know the city is also on a mission to promote liquor license equity. I know since 2024, the city's licensing board has approved dozens of neighborhood restricted liquor licenses. I know they can't be resold or used elsewhere. The goal is to offer opportunities to restaurants in Black and brown communities. What kind of results have you seen so far?
So we've seen over 80 new liquor licenses in some of the neighborhoods that we haven't seen this type of activity before. Dorchester, Mattapan, Roxbury, and these are licenses that are going to our community businesses on our main streets like Abuela's Table and Yanelli's over in Dorchester. And we're really proud of what these liquor licenses were able to do by providing an extra revenue stream for for the businesses, and we hope to continue to put some of those out on the street.
Of course, you can't get a license if you don't apply. Are enough businesses, in your view, taking advantage of the opportunity?
We are welcoming everyone who is interested and is qualified to apply for a liquor license to apply.
The hardest part of going out, though, also, we have to talk about is going home, transit, right? If you rely on the T, service wraps up around 2 a.m. on the weekends. The T has experimented with late night options in the past. Trains, I think, ran until 4 a.m. for a World Cup match, and the T offered temporary free late night services last year. Could Boston use some late night transit changes?
Well, this is an equity issue, really.
Yeah.
The 40,000 nightlife workers deserve low cost, rapid transit just as much as someone who works from 9 to 5. And I believe that the MBTA has made improvements working towards that and will continue to.
Okay. Well, for some people, we have to mention this. Going out does not always mean drinking. I know a lot of people are sober curious, a lot more dry bars popping up, especially with Gen Z who are trying out this sober curious lifestyle. Are you seeing a growing appetite there for sober activities?
And nightlife doesn't necessarily equate itself to alcohol, right? We have Beyond Proof, which is a non-alcoholic bar in JP. And we also have Dre, which is a non-alcoholic liquor store, if you will.
Yeah.
Where you can get spirit-like, a pathogen-like cocktail ingredients. So if you're sober curious, I suggest you check those out.
There's also activities too. I mean, you know, for nightlife, there's food. The city has a late night food truck program, I know, to make sure people can get, you know, bites near bars, near music venues, near colleges, you name it. The program first launched last year. How's that going?
So the late night food truck program is an extension of Mayor Wu's work in government for many years, right? When she was an intern working for Menino, she started the food truck program in general, and then we've extended it to our late night service. And this addressed two things. One, we wanted to make more opportunities for small businesses, food trucks to vend, and then we wanted to address the food access issue. So there are nurses and doctors and late night party goers who are searching for something to eat late at night, and this addresses those issues where they're by universities and hospitals and nightlife districts.
What do you say to people who say, you know, Boston isn't you know, the spot to be? It's not New York City. I never thought that. I always thought Boston was a great time. Yeah. What do you say to those folks, especially with the work that you're doing and continue to do as you're ramping up, you know, since the last couple of years you've been there?
Well, I would say that Boston's a special place, and I don't compare it to any other city. We have a great diverse community where you can explore cultural festivals or explore our parks. We were the first to have a public park. And so I just want folks to continue to explore their city, go to a neighborhood that they don't necessarily go to, and ensure that we are supporting our small businesses.
Beautiful. Corean Reynolds, we thank you so much for the work that you're doing and for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Continue making Boston fun. A new era for a South End staple. How Uptown Social is paying tribute to the past while adding a modern twist.